Another edition of Kentucky Sports and More. Now, here in Kentucky, our university prides itself on the marksmanship program. All right. Back 1990, I was in the marksmanship program at the university. Wound up joining the military and eventually got on the rifle team, shot competitive. Now I know how to build a rifle. On the occasion, I will put together a toy that is pretty cost effective, to be honest with you. I built this thing out of the parts bin. At a local gun store, there's a big bin when you walk in, and it's just loaded with parts. For example, it'll have magazines or butt stocks. Now, they don't really have boat carriers or barrels like that, and you can't have a lower receiver. You gotta register that. So, I went and, like I said, I got all the parts. The barrel was $45. Ordered it on AR-15. The gas block, gas tube was $29. I went with these. These are super slim AR. That's the M-Lock free float hand guards. They're a little pricey. They were $126. Now they have some better ones there for $200 and on up, but for that build, it fit it pretty good. I'm probably going to build a 300 blackout. I want to really put to 200. They're a little thinner, but for a 300 blackout, I've got a pretty good idea how I'm going to build that thing. Now my lower was $56. All right, DPMS, but I had to pay the $25 to get it registered, and it was $81 altogether. The upper was $45. The parts kit, safety, magazine release, all the springs, divots, takedown pins, the whole nine. The whole kit was $45. Now I ordered a lot off Guerrilla Machining, but AR-15 discount had the whole schmeal. All right, butt stock and all, for $45. Now that's normally what I pay at Guerrilla Machining, but it doesn't come with the butt stock and accessories of that nature, which I didn't use it on that. I took a $19 butt stock and tube out of the parts bin. It was $19, and then the buffer spring, I found one in that parts bin that was weighted, it was upgraded, so I bought it. It was $19. The hand grip, it came with the parts kit, but I didn't use it. I got one with the dovetail on there. It was $12, and the boat carrier was $45. Charging handle was $15. So altogether, $481. I've got a complete rifle set up. Now I did do some add-ons, a light laser, the hand grip, the forward hand grip, scope, ACOG, and the drum magazine was $100-something. So I mean, just the rifle was $480. So I mean, if you want to put together a high quality rifle, believe it or not, I could turn around and sell that thing for a fair amount. But when I added the scope, $1,200 scope, I added $130 100-round drum to 3,000 miles of Graceland. I'd travel 10,000 miles, smoke a camel. But if you're looking to build rifles, don't let any of that persuade you. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. Very easy to assemble. If you build one once, you'll be able to do it and upgrade. Now, I did buy a Rise trigger, the 140. It's basically the cheapest one they have. I think I'm really impressed with that. Normally I put a Timney in there or Geisel, rare breed FRTs, but I'm an old soldier and I know that fully automatic does you nothing. You better have shot control. I mean, it burst was terrible. I've had fully autos. I'd soon do it. Just plug and play one. I'd rather be in control of each round. There's nothing wrong with the rest of them, but I don't have any of the FRT rare breeds. I don't have a whole lot of other stuff because there's just really no need in it. And a lot of people don't understand that unless they've ever been in the military. You can't fight with a suppressor. You just can't. It gets so hot. That's to take out a dog or a sentry. And usually you designate one dude for that. I mean, you don't see a whole bunch of dudes running around with, unless you're special forces. And even then, a lot of people got the misconception of these. I blame bad TV for a lot of it. So, I mean, a lot of it's cool and this, that, or the other. But no, you definitely don't want to get into a 5.5 hour firefight and you got to suppress. It's not going to end well. All right. Now, summertime, a lot of people ask me about bourbon all the time. All right. I'll just be honest with you. It's really fielder's choice. Summertime's kind of you got to really pick and choose. Michter's, for example, unblended. That's a really easy to drink, smooth, not hot, reasonably priced. And if you add an acid Cuba cigar to it, you're a winner. Now, I'm more in the lines of Guantanamera's. I really like the Cristals. So for me, I like a little single barrel Wellers. It's all what you like. Anything toasted or wheated, it's probably going to be pretty easy on you during the summer. All right. So get out there, have fun, be responsible. Guantanamera's Cuban cigars. So I mean, it is what it is. I got these when the president lifted the embargo. I don't know if you can buy them now or not, but they're not for sale. I mean, they were just for me. I bought one box, and that's the thing. You could order them, but you can't sell them. So if you buy 125 boxes, you probably ain't gonna get it. You buy a box here and there, you ought to be fine. Cigar Terminal, I think, is where that's the website I use to get mine from. But I don't smoke a whole lot of cigars. And if it's real hot like today, ain't nobody gonna drink no whole lot of, maybe later on in the night. But SEC Media Days. Let's get into it. Well, Kentucky Will Stein stood out, that's for sure, because of me. If anybody was smart, if you own a t-shirt company, listen to me now. If you own a t-shirt company, you need to have because of me written somewhere on a t-shirt and sell them to all the fans. Because when you're there at the stadium, it's because of me we're winning. Like the coach said, it's because of him. It's because of me. Everybody can say that. We won today because Big Bonnie Ross is down there cheering because of me. I think that would spread. That's a good deal. Just let it spread. I think it's great. Grove Street Party spread because of me. I expect Kenny Minchie to have a record-breaking year this year, to be quite honest with you. I think he's going to do real good in the red zone. And I desperately need to see above 90% scoring, unlike the 70 understoops. Them are mostly field goals. I mean touchdowns. This is just terrible. Our red zone's been terrible for years. I don't know what they're going to do about that, but hopefully we could start putting together drives, and once we get in the red zone, we don't just absolutely shoot both feet, all of our toes, hands, knees, self-destruct, implode, whatever you want to call it. Watched it for years. Absolutely just rips your heart out. Game 9 on our schedule, Tennessee Volunteers. So we're going to be doing Tennessee preview prediction today. We play them November 7th in Neyland. Home of the Throne Rolls. No, I mean, that's Lambert's. My bad. That's Missouri. Discard that. Tennessee Volunteers bring back 13 starters for the 26th season, 7 on offense, 6 on defense. Now, they do have an elite O-line, and the defense is pretty deep, especially linebacker. Secondary is pretty good. Quarterback's going to be a problem, people. You've got a redshirt freshman, true redshirt freshman, George McIntyre. Then you got Jake Merklinger. They're battling for the starting job. Whichever one gets it, better be ready. That's all I can say to you. It is exceptionally hard as a veteran to play in the SEC. Oh, man, I couldn't imagine. I mean, you better have some moxie. But Josh Heupel has been known to take a quarterback, some would say mediocre, just given the stats of a Hendon Hooker at the college he was at before he came to Tennessee, and made that individual an all-star Heisman candidate. Just unbelievable. He's got the ability to put his quarterback in a position where he can succeed and have really good numbers and stats. Problem I think he's going to have this year is the deep ball. Me personally, anybody can stand back there and chunk it. There's a difference in throwing it deep and spinning it deep. And I think Tennessee's going to learn that this year. Now, they eat Kentucky up last year with a deep ball. They threw 6 of them in one, like a 10-minute type. They had so much success at it, they literally quit doing it because they didn't have to do it no more. They could have beat us by 80 if they'd have kept doing that. Heupel just called the dogs off. But I think that's going to be a problem for you. And then situational awareness, running, elude, escape. I mean, that takes... You got to get knocked down before you can get up. So I think the quarterback is a pretty good question mark for Tennessee. But having said that, you've got the right coach that I think can get your guy, whichever one it's going to be, in a position to have success rather than failure. So your wide receiver, Braylon Staley, could he be a Heisman candidate? I don't know. He's going to have a breakout year, more than likely. Your tight ends, redshirt freshman, Ethan Davis. That's you're starting to get a lot of that on your starting. You see what I'm getting at? You got a good secondary. Jermod McCoy, Ed Reeves, Farouk. I mean, you got some anchors back there. You can put people on the island. 29th overall in the portal rankings. Some say top 25. So you can go anywhere. It's safe to say you can go anywhere from 29 to 20. That's where you land somewhere, depending on which, like ESPN, On3, CBN, whichever one you want to go with. Somewhere in between that, you're going to fall. You had 21 guys coming in. You had 45 going out. Now, Lance Hurd that went to Kentucky was surprising. And that's just hard to replace. You can say whatever you want to, and all the Kentucky hate, this, that, or the other. It's just hard to replace a guy like that. So, overall, you've got a pretty stout, worthy team. Now, Vegas has got you at 7.5 wins. 3 games better than Kentucky. So, I don't know. I just feel like Tennessee's going to hit the over before I even get into this. And just so people know, on this preview and prediction, I went strictly with the AI, the numbers, the whole nine, the metrics, the meta, the data, computed, and I'm going to give it to you. All right, for each game. You start out with Furman, September 5th. That's a 99% chance to win that. I'm giving you a win. Game's at 2:30 in the afternoon. Why not just beat poor Furman to death in the afternoon and go take a ice bath and call it a day? Then you're on the road to a neutral site in Atlanta, a neuter site. You got a 74.3% chance of beating Georgia Tech September 12th, 6 p.m. I'm giving you a W. I'm giving you a W. Then you got Kennesaw State on September 19th. We got a 96.2% chance to win that, and I'm giving you a W. 6:45 at night. Now, how y'all get this? We got Youngstown State, Alabama, Texas A&M. Your first 3 games are nothing. All right. Y'all have always made fun of our schedule. I mean, I guess I could make fun of you for this. Why not? It really gets stiff after that, though, because on September 26th, 11 a.m., you've got Texas. I don't think there's no amount of anything that you could do. The AI computer give you 24.5% chance. You're losing that. I'm giving you an L. You start out 3-1. Then you got Auburn on October 3rd. You got a 65.3% chance of winning that. You're going to win that. And then you're on the road October 10th at Arkansas. You got a 73.5% chance to win that, and that's exactly what you're going to do. So right here, looks like you are 5-1. But then on October 17th, you got Bama. 40.9% chance. You're not. I'm giving you a loss. Tell you why. You squeaked one. You got one over on them. You got that field goal on them, but it's hard to do, ain't it? I think they remember that. Now here's your toss-up game. This right here is what's going to determine your season. The following week, you're on the road at South Carolina. October 24th. You've got a 50.6% chance to win that. That is just about as even a toss-up game as you can get. I'm giving you a W. I'm going to give you a win because where your quarterback's probably going to struggle is Texas. Now, he's going to learn. He's going to grow up a whole lot between Texas and Auburn, and then he's going to take it out on Arkansas, and he's going to probably make a couple mental errors, lose a game at Auburn, but he's going to take a big giant step forward, mother may I. This is what you call experience. So whichever quarterback you stick out there, by the time you play South Carolina on October 24th, is not going to be the same dude that trots out there against Furman. He's going to be a little calmer. He's already been hit. The jitters ought to be gone by now. He should not be vomiting his mom's spaghetti on his sweater. So I'm going to give you a win on the road at South Carolina. And that could go, if that was, I don't know, that could go either way. But I think that game right there is crucial to your season. And then you've got a bye. I'm going to give you a win reluctantly right there. I think that's going to be a close, hard-fought game. South Carolina has an edge because they've got a veteran quarterback. They've got play, but their line is suspect. Yours is not, and most generally, cream rises to the top. I think you edge them out. Then you come out of a bye, November 7th, KY jelly. Don't put it on your toast. You've got Kentucky in Neyland. Computer's giving you an 80.8% chance to win right now as we sit in the great day of our Lord. Well, that's a W. Given the past history, Kentucky just doesn't beat you in football. And you just don't beat us in basketball. I mean, it is what it is. Well, we've had a few wins with the overall record's not close. It's never going to be close in basketball. I have to say this every video because you always, one Tennessee guy thinks that you're great at basketball and you're better than Kentucky. No, stop that. We're nowhere in your league in football. Hopefully Will Steins can change the culture and get that reversed, where we can win a few games against Tennessee. We shall see. I'm not going to buy into Will Steins until we start beating Tennessee, Missouri, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Mandy. Consistent. And I will not pick Kentucky over Tennessee at Neyland or at home. Chance favors the prepared mind, and so do odds, the historical odds. It's like South Carolina with Clemson. That's why I mean United. It just is. So I'm giving you a win there. Right now you got 2 losses. On November 14th, you're on the road at Texas A&M. You've got a 28% chance to win that, and that's exactly what you're going to get. You're probably going to score 28 points, and they're going to be in the 40s or something nuts like it. I'm giving you a loss. Then on November 21st, LSU and the flop. You didn't get your card on the turn, and you definitely didn't get it in the flop, so your straight didn't hit. You've got a 42.1% chance to win, so I'm giving you a loss. And then you're at Vanderbilt November 28th. You got a 62.4% chance to win that. It's exactly what you're going to do. Probably win by that number. Finishing out the year with a true redshirt freshman or a guy that's never played starter, you're going to have an 8-4 record. You're going to go to a bowl game. You're going to be 5-4 in the SEC. I'm going to take the over on Tennessee this year. I think that's a safe bet. I'm not betting $5,000. I might bet $1,000. But I think it's a safe bet. I like to pick one team out and throw a pretty good chunk of money on it. Last year was Kentucky, and boy, did it pay. They learned their lesson from that last year, because at the 4.5, the plus, it's nowhere near what it was last year. I think they had to pay quite a bit out on that. So I'm staying away from Kentucky's. I'm all in on a few teams and getting the over. Tennessee's one of them. So you have a 3.3% chance to win the SEC. You got a 20.5% chance to make the CFPs. And like I said, I'm going to take the over. Speaking of over, Cincinnati Reds, we're done. I know, well, tonight we play at 8:40, the Seattle Mariners. We're 17.5 games back. What did I say would be? 25 games back by October. Well, we're well on our way. Once you get to 11.5, you're done. Your season's done. It's like a basketball. Whoever gets the 71st has got like a 98-point-something% chance to win. Yeah. I can just see this. I'm a season ticket holder at the Reds. I I don't really have the inclination to be a season ticket holder to Titans, but I do like to go to anywhere from 5 to 7 games a year. I think it's just was cheaper for me just to go drive down there, do what I want to do, and come back, as opposed to being a season ticket holder. I was a season ticket holder at the Nashville Predators. I may get them back, but they raised their prices exponentially. I mean, it's just ungodly. I mean, I could see going up 10%. When you go up 80%, I'm like, nah, man. I got bigger, better things I want to. And I do. I go to a lot of hockey games. In fact, I make it hockey then football. You know, I hit a double whammy there. I mean, this is just a great weekend. Cincinnati, you just cannot run a pitching system in the manner in which the level of ineptness that you've done. My God. And to make matters worse, the Mariners are 51-50. They're above 500, leading the American League West. Well, we're dead last in our division. The Rangers are right behind them at 50-50, and then the Astros 48-54. Then it drops off. I mean, that's your three contenders in there. I think the Reds need to just trade a bunch of people. To be honest with you, the bullpen, bullpup, bull is what we've got. And speaking of that, Cam Ward, my God. Well, speak my mind. Well, yeah, you do. You sure do. You get in front of the Cam the Sham gets in front of a microphone and just rips Callahan. And you can tell he didn't do it on purpose, but it doesn't change what you said. Callahan never did want to listen to me. This new offensive coordinator listens to me. Like I said last year, I had a bunch of racists and hate come my way. I said Cam's going to have a hard time learning the playbook, and if they want to have any success at all, they're going to have to tailor the offense around Cam. They can't run these. He ain't going to learn. What happened? He just literally said the exact same thing I did in the interview. I had a hard time trying to understand, and the new offensive coordinator came and approached me and asked me, what are my strengths? What do I like to do? What do I do? What plays do I not know how to run? Yada, yada, yada. They're making a different approach to it. So I think the Titans may be better than my preview prediction if we're going to go that route. They could win 7-8 games. Anything other than 3 is an improvement, right? This is just it's just unbelievable. You got Cam Ward who struggles learning and it's the second. He's going through the same thing Will Levis did. You ruin Levis. Cam's the smallest quarterback on your team. All right? He's one hit away from. He's already got a little shoulder deal going on. He can't take the punishment, man. You're going to have to absolutely give him some protection so he can get rid of the ball. You're going to have to find you some wide receivers that's going to step up. And I think you have. But I'd be awful shocked if Trubisky isn't your starting quarterback by game 5. I think that's the way the management and everybody's wanting to go, this, that, or the other. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope Cam doesn't ever lose another game for the rest of my life. I see a pretty rough season incoming here. Speaking of rough season, there is a legitimate discussion right now by the SEC and the Big Ten about breaking away from the NCAA. Does anybody really care one way or another? Honestly. If they announce tomorrow the SEC and Big Ten's going out on their own, okay. Come September, whatever, we're all going to be watching, and that's going to be the farthest thing from our mind. Running back Dante Dowdell, Kentucky guy last year, had a pretty gruesome ATV accident. You can read it. Everything's all alleged. Georgia running back's pretty serious. He's moved from one hospital to another hospital, and he's finally in a hospital in Georgia. He's had to speedy recovery. That's all I like to say, young man. I've had ATVs. There's not much I hadn't done on them. Trail rides. You know, you park down there and just watch an ATV come bouncing down the creek, and then pretty soon the body comes rolling by. ATVs. Side by sides are a little different. But an ATV, it's not a matter of when you're going to get hurt or if you're going to get hurt, it's when. Just like dirt bikes. I mean, we all had casts growing up. You know, you finally get big enough where you got to replace swing arms and, you know, stuff breaks. You get a little more bolder. But yeah, these vehicles here, dirt bikes, ATVs, jet skis, and all that, you gotta use a little common sense and stay alert, stay alive. I mean, watch what you're doing. Safety first. Right now, the preseason order of finish projected Texas, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, and after that, does it really matter? No. Will Steins absolutely crushed SEC Media Days. And you're right, it is all on you. Who else am I going to blame? Huh? The punter? It all falls on you, and I'm glad you stated that. So whether we have success or failure, it's like Stoops. He didn't say that, but we all knew where the blame lies. So, I mean, I ain't got a problem with what he said. It seemed cocky. A lot of people took it the wrong way. Some didn't. Most everybody in this state loved it. But I think the T-shirts, they ought to have that. Everybody ought to wear them to the stadium because of me. That's why we're winning, because of me. We talk guns. I've got shooting videos on this channel. I will put some more of them out. I'll try to get a lot of people doesn't really have a great concept. Say they just never really been around a whole lot of firearms. Like a 38. You know, I had a buddy had one. He always got rid of it. I was like, man, you don't really have any idea how far that thing shoots accurately. I mean, the round drops 3 inches, 100 yards. I mean, you know, you ain't got to be right up on the thing just because you got a 38. Shoot it. Most people you need to practice with what you've got. And don't just get out there and shoot at something and not, you know, find you something, wood, metal. You shoot through various different things, various different ranges, time of day, night, whatever you want. Not. The vast majority of people that get hurt really don't practice with what they got. Sawed-off shotgun gets a lot of people because there's no cheek rest, and they just grab it and think they can just pull the trigger. You know. So, I mean, there is a whole lot to it. So if you own a piece of equipment, you got to use it. You got to learn it. But out here, I'll put some rounds down range, and everybody can make fun of me this, that, or that. I don't care. I had a pretty good run. Got some medals, like I said, marksmanship, but I am no Tom Berenger. You know what I mean? Like I said, I blame bad TV for a lot of stuff that goes on. I'm not going to be throwing bullets up in the air and catch them in the cylinder. You're just asking for a accidental discharge. I mean, a lot of that stuff. If you try that, like in Southwest Asia, the green zone or something like that, you know what I mean? Our hand-to-hand combat instructor, the 8th degree black belt guy, whatever, if you try to grab a gun like Mel Gibson did, lethal weapon, you're going to get shot. Like, there's some common sense to this, you know. So, a lot of this stuff you see on YouTube, I've only seen 1 or 2 channels where the dude's actually laying on the ground in the rain, shooting behind a car. I mean, you know, some of them are legit, but a whole lot of them are just some jabroni out there. Well, I got this rifle. We're going to test this cartridge with this one, and we're going to shoot that. Okay, all right, yeah. Whole lot more factors than that. that go on. But nevertheless, if you want to learn anything about bourbon, get a hold of somebody from Kentucky. If you're listening to some dude from Michigan or Connecticut or something like that, jeez, they probably don't know what they're talking about. Like I said, there's more barrels per capita here than there are people. So, I mean, at some point, everybody's learned a little bit about this, that, or the other. But everybody likes a good refreshment. Enjoy, be responsible in anything you do. Building guns, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And it's the best way to put together what you like that conforms to you. The triggers, the barrel length, the hand guards. I mean, it's all ergonomics. What feels comfortable to you? Is there one better than the other? Well, I mean, obviously, you get what you pay for in certain circumstances. In certain circumstances, you do not. If it's a standard government barrel, I mean, yeah, a dead shot barrel is going to be better than the lowest bidder for the United States Army. But common sense comes into play. Like I said, I built that thing out of a parts bin. And I've got some over there that I actually put together that's some high dollar, high quality, all the way around. And I expect the equipment to perform to my level of training. All right. I'm not going to fall to your level. I'm going to rise up to my level. But the situation, I try to keep my level of training high enough that when I do fall to the situation, it's still well above it. So, we like marksmanship, we like archery, we'll be doing that, hunting, fishing, trapping, you name it. We're going to talk Kentucky sports and a little bit more. Y'all think about it. I'm out of here.